So today we're going to be talking about some of the biggest news stories surrounding the world of MMA. Starting off, UFC 301 is this Saturday. Overall, the card isn't really great, let's be honest. Steve Ercik and Pantoja as the main event, and Jonathan Martinez and Aldo as the co-main event. It's not really a great card, if I'm being honest. But in terms of the co-main and main event, the co-main event sees Aldo make his UFC return. The King of Rio is back in the octagon against number 14th ranked bantamweight Jonathan Martinez. Now, before I talk about this fight and who I think is going to win, Aldo's return here has been wasted in my opinion. I mean, I understand that if Jonathan Martinez is able to beat Aldo in Brazil, then he becomes a big star for the UFC. But I feel like they should have done Aldo versus Henry Cejudo or Aldo versus Dominic Cruz. I've said this before, so I'm not going to keep going on about it. Just feel like it was a missed opportunity on the UFC's behalf. But anyway, back into this fight. Jonathan Martinez, like I said, is the number 14th ranked UFC bantamweight. Aldo has not fought in over 2 years in MMA and is 37 years of age. Now, that might not seem that old, but in these lower divisions, that is old. Now, in terms of who I think is going to win this matchup, I think it's going to be a pretty fun fight, to be honest. I think it's going to be pretty competitive. Obviously, how Aldo will look, I'm not too sure. Like I said, he's been out for a while. Just going back from his previous performances, where I thought he looked pretty good at bantamweight, to be honest. I think Aldo's going to need to be very careful of Jonathan Martinez's leg kicks, but vice versa. Martinez is going to have to be very careful of Jose Aldo's leg kicks as well. I don't know. I don't know who's going to win it, but I want Aldo to win it. I think Aldo will be able to do a good job defending the leg kicks and firing back his own leg kicks. And I feel like in the boxing range, in the pocket, I feel like Aldo will have a lot of success, especially to the body. And with it being in Rio, and with Aldo being the king of Rio, I'm going to go for an Aldo win by decision. Yeah, Aldo by decision. Then on to the main event, you've got Pantoja versus Steve Ercik. Now, a lot of people seemingly seem to be picking Steve Ercik for this matchup. Let's not forget, Steve Ercik is coming off that win against Matt Chanel, which wasn't that long ago. I don't know exactly how many weeks ago it was, but it really wasn't that long ago. He's currently number 10th in the flyweight division. Now, I understand why a lot of people are picking Steve Ercik. He is a great fighter, do not get me wrong, but I think Pantoja is one of the most underrated fighters currently on the UFC's roster. And with this being in Brazil, his people, this is his moment. I feel like Pantoja is really going to go out there and perform. Now, yes, in his last fight against Royval, did he look great? Not really. He looked like he kind of gassed at stages, but he done what he needed to do to win, and I feel like this fight will be no different. I feel like this will be very, very competitive, but I feel like the championship and the 5-round experience of Pantoja will take over in the later stages of this fight, and he will be able to just do what he needs to do to win. That is what Pantoja does. I think Pantoja is going to win this by decision. I feel like, though, this is going to be a really, really fun fight, though. Next story I want to talk about is Jon Jones. Fuck this guy. Jon Jones has came out now and is asking the question, who should he fight next? Alex Pereira or Tom Aspinall? Now, like, for a start, you're not going to fight any of these guys next anyway, so let's stop getting everybody's hopes up. But let's just be honest, who should Jon Jones be fighting next? Now, Alex Pereira, 2-division world champion, yes, arguably currently outside of McGregor, obviously. We could argue this guy's the biggest star the UFC have. However, he's not a heavyweight. Jon Jones isn't going to go to light heavyweight. Everybody wants to see Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Let's stop asking these questions. You know what the fans want. Let's just give the fans what they want. You're asking what they want. They tell you what they want. You don't give them what they want. Now, Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall, that's what I want to talk about, is the interim UFC heavyweight champion, obviously beating Sergey Pavlovich at UFC 295. Now, Tom Aspinall is set to fight in that Manchester card. It will not be Jon Jones. Let's just get that straight. It definitely will not be Jon Jones. But for the first time in the UFC's history, now I could be completely wrong here, someone let me know in the comments, the interim titles being defended, which is just bollocks considering Jon Jones, he hasn't retired and he is looking to compete again. Now Jon Jones obviously wants to have that Stipe Miocic fight and it was booked for UFC 295, but Jon Jones got injured and had to pull out. That's fine. Jon wants this legacy fight. Go for it, absolutely. But then vacate the belt. You don't need to be the champion then. If you don't want to fight the guys that are clearly next in line for the belt, then you have to just relinquish the belt, in my opinion. I feel like that makes sense. Now, in terms of these matchups, Jon Jones beats Alex Pereira, and I think he beats Pereira pretty comfortably. Now, a lot of people might not agree with that one. If you don't agree with that one, really take a look at yourself. Jon Jones would maul Alex Pereira. He would out-grapple him. Yeah, it just would not be a good night for Alex Pereira. Now, in terms of Tom Aspinall, it's such an interesting fight. I do think Tom Aspinall would beat Jon Jones just in terms of timings in their career. Obviously, Jon Jones is coming off his big injury, and he is near the later stages of his career. Tom Aspinall is just hitting his prime. Tom Aspinall is a great boxer, very explosive, jiu-jitsu, or sorry, a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Now, one thing we haven't seen about Aspinall's game is how good is his wrestling defense. Now, his defense in terms of grappling, wrestling in particular, might be ass, and Jon Jones might just fucking maul him. But that's the questions that need to be answered. He's clearly the number one contender. Stop asking these fucking stupid questions. You know who the fans want. It's Tom Aspinall. Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall needs to happen. It should be next for Jon Jones. And finally, what the fuck is happening here? Right, there we go. This is very interesting on Alex Pereira's behalf. So Alex Pereira says most likely the next in line for a title shot in the light heavyweight division is Jiří Procházka, and then Ankalaev is going to have to wait a little bit longer. Now, why? I kind of understand why. I mean, this was a fun matchup. There was controversy on the finish, even though Jiří said he was out-cooled himself. I still do think it was a bit of an early stoppage, but again, that's just my opinion. I'm surprised, though, because it seemed like Ankalaev and Pereira were getting ready to get something in motion. I mean, maybe Pereira just thinks fuck that guy because he tried to call him out in October on the Abu Dhabi card. Now, this doesn't make sense. If Jiří Procházka gets the title shot over Magomed Ankalaev, it doesn't really make sense in my opinion. Now, yes, Jiří has just beat Rakic. However, Ankalaev, I don't even know what win streak he's on, but I know he is on a big win streak, and it was pretty much confirmed that he would be fighting Pereira next, so I feel like this is a bit of a shitty move, especially for Ankalaev. I feel like Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira should be the fight to happen next, and I actually think Ankalaev is an easier matchup for Pereira than what Jiří is, than what Jamal Hill was. Now, a lot of people don't agree with me on that one. That is just my opinion. I feel like Pereira does beat Magomed Ankalaev, but I'm kind of confused as to why he said this. Like, yeah, I don't get it. But anyway, either way, I would like to see this rematch also. But let me know your opinions in the comments below. Who wins at UFC 301? Who should Jon Jones face next? And should Alex Pereira face Jiří Procházka or Magomed Ankalaev next? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for all the support. I am trying to hit 200 subscribers here, so would appreciate it if you could like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next one.